On this episode, I'm going to answer your questions from an all-new social network called Whale. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Carlos here. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, my all-new series in which I answer your questions on social media marketing and interview interesting guests in the world of business. I'm coming at you once again from the beautiful NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center in San Francisco. And let's get right into this episode. There's an all-new social network called Whale. And I know what you're already thinking. Here we go again. It's a bright, new, shiny object. Let's hear it. Now check it out, guys. Whale is an app created by Justin Kan, which many of you out there might know is the creator of Twitch, the video gaming social network. So, Justin recently rolled out an all-new app in which you can answer and ask questions. And the caveat is that you can ask influencers questions on this app, and what's really neat about it is you can actually monetize. So influencers can either answer questions for free, like I do, or they can charge a certain amount to answer someone's question. And what's really cool about this is if your question gets answered and other people want to see the response to that question, again, provided that the person answering the question is charging, then not only do you get a cut, but the person answering gets a cut. So almost think about it like an affiliate marketing revenue, but with questions and answers to everyday questions around business, music, sports, politics, what have you. So on this episode, I'm going to answer a few of your questions that came directly to me from Whale. So the first question comes from Ruvim. He wants to know what are some of the biggest mistakes that marketers make when using social media. And I will say this, Ruvim, there are several mistakes that marketers make when it comes to social media, but I'm just going to throw out a couple of them. And the first is really not having an end game or not having a goal. It's very easy to jump on social media and get sucked into Snapchat and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook if you don't have a plan, if you're not strategic. So going into it, answer yourself these three principal questions. Who am I trying to reach? How am I going to reach them? And what am I going to put in front of them? Those are the three building blocks of developing a social media strategy. Again, I'll repeat. Who am I trying to reach? So who's your target audience that you're trying to sell to, or who are you trying to get your content in front of? Two, what platforms are they on? So how are you going to reach them? Are they someone who you're going to reach through Twitter? Or are you going to reach them through Facebook? Or are you going to reach them through another social network? And then three, once you do reach them, what content are you going to put in front of them? How are you going to reel them in? Again, those are the building blocks of developing a social media strategy. Make sure that you have a plan, make sure that you're focused, and make sure you're just not wasting time pushing out content. The next question comes from Matt, aka Handshaking Holmes. Be sure to check out my dude Matt. He actually broke a Guinness Book of World Records for shaking hands the longest, which just sounds awful, but yet amazing at the same time. I'm a big germaphobe, so I don't know if I could shake someone's hand for really more than a few minutes. Anyways, check out my dude Matt. So Matt wants to know, what are the best hooks to get people with email marketing? What converts the best? Is it ebooks? Is it white papers? What is it? Here's what I've seen with email marketing lately, Matt. You have a lot of fluff. You have a lot of people that are trying to, one, newsjack. So for example, the election just passed. You have a lot of people sending out emails saying Donald Trump is president, election. They're trying to ride that wave. Honestly, that immediately gets a delete from my perspective. The emails I see are the most effective are the ones that really speak to me. And what I mean by that is, for one, it has an email subject line that's crafted to the end user. So I work in marketing. Anytime I see an email that has a really catchy headline around a social network or brand campaign, I'm more inclined to read that. Or the ones that say, here's how you can do X better. Who doesn't want to learn? Who doesn't want to be able to improve in their job? So really develop your email campaigns around freemium content. This is free information to inspire someone to then get them off the email and onto your website. This happens a lot with webinars. I see a lot of emails come my way in both my brand marketing role and outside of work that are around webinars. And webinars still have a value because let's face it, you can create a webinar for 30 or 45 minutes. You can build an email list. You can also drive people from your webinar over to take action and buy a product. Or you can just use it for prospecting at the end of the day for your business. So where I'm going with all this is set up a webinar and then use your email and craft it to where you're maybe giving out 3 or 4 tips for free. And then if someone wants to know more, they can sign up for the webinar and they can get more information at that point. The final question comes from Corey. Corey wants to know, who are some people I follow on social media that I don't know personally? This is a really good question, Corey. So I've spent now 8 years networking my tail off on social media. And one of the things I do when I go into every city that I visit is I try to grab coffee or dinner or a beer with at least a couple of people in my social network. Now, that doesn't happen with everyone. And the reason why it doesn't happen is because some of the folks that are on my list, the people that I want to meet that I follow, like Mark Cuban and Mark Benioff and Tony Robbins, are not the type of people that I'm going to just send a tweet to and say, hey, Tony, by the way, I'm in your city. I want to go grab coffee. I'd probably say those are the people that I would really like to sit down and pick their brain for maybe even 10 or 15 minutes. I've been really fortunate to meet people I look up to like Gary Vee on several occasions at different events. Again, these are relationships with people that I look up to like Gary that started online. I've been able to meet them offline, but even someone like Gary, I would love to be able to sit down and maybe spend an hour hanging out, having a glass of wine. So I'd probably say in that order, sequentially, Gary, Tony, and then Mark and Mark. Take your pick, Cuban or Benioff. That wraps up another episode of Real Talk. Be sure to check me out on Whale. Ask me questions there. You can also subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. If you're watching this video actually on YouTube, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And be sure to also visit my website, carlosgil.biz, and sign up for my all-new newsletter. I call it the VIP list. Until next time, I will see you on social media. Peace.